He'd never known a home. For as long as he could remember, the little stray dog had lived on the fringes of the city. His world was made of broken benches where he'd sleep, the back alleys of restaurants where he'd scavenge for scraps, and the quiet ache of watching families from a distance, his heart filled with a silent longing. His fur was a tangled mess, and you could count his ribs through his thin coat. But deep inside, a tiny spark of hope refused to be extinguished. One particularly cold morning, after being shooed away from his usual resting spot, he decided he'd had enough. He would wander farther than ever before. This wasn't just a search for food. It was a journey for something more, something he couldn't quite name. His paws carried him through bustling streets, down quiet, forgotten alleys, and into wide-open fields. There, for just a moment, he'd chase butterflies, a brief, joyful return to the puppy he once was. Along the way, he encountered flickers of human kindness. A stranger who tossed him a piece of their sandwich, a shopkeeper who let him rest by her warm doorway, and even an older, wiser stray who showed him which roads were safe and which to avoid. These small acts of grace kept his hope alive. But every time he saw a child's carefree laugh or a family playing together in a park, that familiar ache would return. His dream was simple, yet felt so far away. He just wanted to belong. One evening, exhausted from his travels, he curled up beneath a large oak tree in a quiet suburban neighborhood. The rustling leaves were his only blanket. He was startled awake, not by a harsh shout, but by a gentle voice. A young girl was kneeling beside him, holding out a soft blanket and a bowl of warm, fragrant food. She didn't try to grab him or scare him, she just spoke softly, calling him Buddy, as if it had always been his name, as if he had always been hers. For the very first time in his life, he didn't run. He stayed, cautiously eating the food she offered. She returned the next day and the day after that. She would sit with him for hours, telling him stories about her school, her friends, and her biggest wish to have a dog who needed her just as much as she needed him. Days slowly melted into weeks. The fear that had been his constant companion began to fade, replaced by a feeling of trust, of warmth. Buddy, as he now knew himself to be, started looking forward to her visits more than his next meal. One sunny afternoon, as she got up to leave, he did something new. He followed her. He trailed behind her down the sidewalk, his heart pounding with a mix of hope and fear. What if they didn't want him? He hesitated at the gate of her house, but she turned and smiled, beckoning him forward. When the front door opened, he braced himself to be chased away. But her parents didn't shout. They didn't even look surprised. They just smiled, warm and welcoming, as if they had been waiting for him all along. That night, Buddy didn't sleep on cold, hard concrete. He slept on a soft bed in the corner of the little girl's room. The gentle sounds of a family's life drifting through the house like the most beautiful lullaby he had ever heard. He finally understood. His long journey, through all the hunger and the loneliness, had been leading him here. He hadn't just found a roof over his head or a steady supply of food. He had found love. He had found belonging. He had found a name, spoken with a warmth that filled every empty space inside him. Buddy had finally found his forever home. And in their hearts, he was never really a stray. He was just a friend they were destined to meet. Thanks for watching. If this story touched your heart, please give it a like and subscribe for more content that celebrates the incredible bond between humans and animals. See you next time.